travel enough, spend time talking to other travelers, you'll no doubt come across these ideas that certain places are overrated. Paris, for example, is one of those places that a lot of people like to say is overrated. So I have commandeered this fancy, sassy French fashion model here to wrangle me through the streets of Paris and find out if Paris is actually overrated.
It's not.
Oh, really? Ah, cool. Not sure exactly why anyone would say it's overrated. I mean, unless you don't like culture and art, amazing food, a clean, efficient mass transit system. I mean, it is one of the most visited cities in the world. It's probably one of the most expensive cities in the world, but as the saying goes, you get what you pay for. Next left. Nothing makes me feel fancy or francy pants like having a good vegan brunch. Charlie's Crew, nice vegan brunch here. And look, if you have been somewhere, it's easy to say a place is overrated. Like I, for example, think Bali is overrated. I mean, I would go back to Bali. I don't think you should ever let that stop you from exploring a place you want to go. If some dipshit says it's overrated, that's just their opinion. And yeah, obviously it's expensive. But one of the oldest centers of commerce in Europe, surrounded by plenty of culture. And where else can you feel like a bougie francy pants than in Paris, you know? There is something called Paris syndrome, which I don't exactly know what that is, but I think people get intoxicated by the city. And I will say, as far as cities go, it's way more laid back and relaxed than I expected it to be. For years, I had envisioned Paris being full of angry, yelling French people. The people have been so nice here, contrary to my expectations, contrary to what you're led to believe in the States about angry, snotty French people who refuse to speak English. In fact, it's been the exact opposite in my experience. We are running late for our timed entry to the Louvre, so hopefully we can make it. Oh my God, the line looks huge. Well, that was the Louvre, and now we are at the garden outside, and that was an intense experience, I think. I'm pretty Louvred out. 3.5 hours of the Louvre. It was quite intense. Countless priceless artifacts. And, you know, back several hundred years ago in the streets of France, they would just throw buckets of feces out the window. And I'm not sure how the Louvre achieved this, but they were able to preserve that smell somehow in certain parts of the Louvre. So I applaud them for their authenticity, their attention to detail, to capture that authentic smell of the streets of Paris in the 1700s. Wouldn't you agree, madam?
The sub-basement.
The sub-basement.
-1.
Yes, -1. Authentic smelling. Well, I don't know that Paris is overrated. I don't think it is, but I think the Mona Lisa might be. My least favorite part of the experience. Oh, you want to show me?
You know, I do not know what this Paris syndrome is, but I am starting to think I have it. You know, there is a certain joie de vivre, there is a certain raison d'être, there is a certain je ne sais quoi of Paris, and it is infectious. It gets in your brain and you affect the way you speak. Sacre bleu.
So I'd say, much like any big city in the world, if you avoid the super touristic areas, the most popular crowded areas, that it's actually a pretty cool city on the outskirts here. But of course, if you're in the masses, in the chaos at the Louvre and the Eiffel Tower and stuff like that, yeah, I could see why people might not enjoy it, just like Times Square in New York City. But other than that, it's a beautiful city, full of beautiful architecture, culture, food. Been indulging a bit too much. Lots of delicious vegan food here in Paris.
Infamous.